Operation Mockingbird is an alleged large-scale program of the United States Central Intelligence Agency that began in the early 1950s and attempted to manipulate news media for propaganda purposes. It funded student and cultural organizations and magazines as front organizations. According to writer Deborah Davis, Operation Mockingbird recruited leading American journalists into a propaganda network and oversaw the operations of front groups. CIA support of front groups was exposed after a 1967 Ramparts magazine article reported that the National Student Association received funding from the CIA. In the 1970s, congressional investigations and reports also revealed agency connections with journalists and civic groups. None of these reports, however, mentions by name an Operation Mockingbird coordinating or supporting these activities. A Project Mockingbird is mentioned in the CIA Family Jewels report, compiled in the mid-1970s. According to the declassified version of the report released in 2007, Project Mockingbird involved the wiretapping of two American journalists for several months in the early 1960s. In the early years of the Cold War, efforts were made by the governments of both the United States and the Soviet Union to use media companies to influence public opinion internationally. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you would like to view more of our videos. Have a nice day.
I thought that it was a matter of real concern that planted stories intended to serve a national purpose abroad came home and were circulated here and believed here, because this would mean that the CIA could manipulate the news in the United States by channeling it through some foreign country. Now we're looking at that very carefully.
Do you have any people being paid by the CIA who are contributing to a major circulation American journal?
We do have people who submit pieces to American journals.
Do you have any people paid by the CIA who are working for television networks?
This, I think, gets into the kind of getting into the details, Mr. Chairman, that I'd like to get into in executive session.
At CBS, we had been contacted by the CIA. As a matter of fact, by the time I became the head of the whole news and public affairs operation in 1954, ships had been established, and I was told about them and asked if I'd carry on with them.
We have quite a lot of detailed information, and we will evaluate it, and we will include any evidence of wrongdoing or any evidence of impropriety in our final report and make recommendations.
Do you have any people being paid by the CIA who are contributing to the national news services, AP and UPI?
Well, again, I think we're getting into the kind of detail, Mr. Chairman, that I'd prefer to handle in executive session.
Senator, do you think that you named the news organizations in your final report?
That remains to be decided.
I think it was entirely in order for our correspondents at that time to make use of CIA agent chiefs of station and other members of the executive staff of CIA as sources of information which were useful in their assessments of world conditions.
Would you say that continues today?
Well, I would think probably for a reporter it would continue today, but because of all of the revelations of the period of the 1970s, it seems to me that a reporter's got to be much more circumspect in doing it now, or he runs the risk of at least being looked at with considerable disfavor by the public. I think you've got to be much more careful about it.
You didn't have any journalistic training except CIA training. Now, the last time I talked to Anderson Cooper, things really didn't go that well. Anderson, what influence do you think the CIA has when it comes to mainstream media?
Dude, you're being just ridiculous.
to manipulate the news and mainstream media?
So Anderson Cooper has 3 security guards all around him now.
He actually hid in the car for me.
Get just one statement from you.
But this time he actually talked.
Hey Anderson, we had a great interview last time. I was wondering if you get a chance to look into Operation Mockingbird? You know what that is.
You're talking about something, what, from the 1950s, dude?
1970s official declassified program, how the CIA infiltrated the mainstream media from the higher up.
Right.
It's declassified.
I read about it in college, yes, I do. Thanks.
Do you think it's something that could possibly be happening today?
I have no comment for you, thanks, dude.
Why not? I mean, you didn't have any journalistic training except CIA training. I mean,
Yeah.
But do you feel it's an issue of concern when it comes to kind of domestic American coverage of the world events? We see a lot of coverage of Russia and a lot of coverage of Iran, but not Saudi Arabia. Why do you think human rights violations in Saudi Arabia are not covered as extensively as they should be?
Have you been to Saudi Arabia?
No, not yet.
Well, good luck. You go there and do it.
I will, probably.
Now, I don't want to be considered rude or mean when I told Anderson Cooper to his face that he received no journalism training at all except for training by the CIA, but that's actually stated on his own Wikipedia, and he admittedly was trained to be in the CIA when he was in college and received no journalism training. But if you're interested in journalism training, I'm actually doing a full-fledged one-on-one boot camp course. There's laughing yoga, there's tequila shots, there's running exercises. There's also a full-day training seminar with me teaching you one-on-one how to do everything that I'm doing in Acapulco, Mexico. If you're interested, check out the link below. And if you just want to check out the conference that's happening down there, there's also another link there just to check out the conference. And it's one of the best conferences that I've ever been to. So, I'll see you in Mexico, not Saudi Arabia. No, I made the decision. No, Anderson, I'm not going to Saudi Arabia. But if you ever want to have an honest one-on-one discussion about your policy, your journalism, and the truth of the matter of things, I'm all yours. But just not in Saudi Arabia.
Whenever there are riots anywhere in the world, Luke is there on the ground.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Back up! Ah, I'm a fucking journalist, you motherfucker!
Immediately disperse. You must leave the immediate vicinity.
When politicians need a reality check, he faces them and confronts them head on.
What happens when you worship Moloch at the Bohemian Grove?